Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cyber Inspiration Podcast. My name is Evgeny. I have been around cybersecurity for the last 20 years and I have a lot of experience working with a variety of cybersecurity vendors. My main work is vendor consulting and cybersecurity advisory for companies. As part of my passion in technology and cyber, I've been intrigued to learn how a company starts. I started the podcast to understand the thinking process and what motivated people to start their own company. This podcast is affiliated with Security Architecture Podcast.
I have Carlson here from Cork to talk about his company and his motivation to start his journey. Can you please tell me about yourself and the company?
Yeah, well, nice meeting everybody. My name is Carlson Choi. I'm the CEO of a company called Cork, which is a unique name from that standpoint. What we do is extremely unique. It's actually a smart cyber warranty product that we created exclusively for the managed service provider, the MSP world.
It's very short and good explanation. I guess it entitling not just paperwork, but probably technology as well.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. It's kind of interesting, right? People go ask, like, what does that really mean? Is we have actually two major pieces of component of our offering. One, as part of it, we have a cyber intelligence platform that really focusing on what we call active loss prevention, is preventing things from happening, right? Preventing ransomware, preventing a wire transfer is really on the pre-attack perspective. We also have a component, which is a service of warranty, which is a financial coverage in case something does happen. Uniquely by building this together as a product that we put into the managed service provider hands called an MSP's hand, they can use it to prevent an attack from happening. But if something does happen, that warranty kicks in to make sure themselves and their end clients are whole from that standpoint. And that warranty is also something they can actually resell to the end client to make some money on it.
Great. I guess I still need an insurance, but it's add-on on top of the insurance.
A little bit different because warranty, the way I always describe this is, let's say, I'll take an example analogy. When you go buy a brand new car that you like, the car actually comes with a warranty that warrant the manufacturing, the drivetrain, the engine performance. And then you will go buy additional financial coverage, car insurance, that lets you cover against people running against you or somebody get in a car accident, car gets stolen. Well, you go to cyber world, what's quite interesting is there's cyber insurance. People all get that same concept, third-party damages, legal, brand issue. But as a managed service provider, guess what happened? When you deliver a managed service agreement to the end client, there's no such thing as a warranty that warranting their services beyond just something goes wrong there. So that's kind of where Cork Cyber Warranty comes into play. So the cyber warranty actually works together with cyber insurance. It doesn't work against it. It doesn't replace it. It's an and, just like car warranty, car insurance, right? And then you also, in the same time, you got cyber warranty, cyber insurance. Now, the other interesting thing that we talked about that platform was, like a car, you got a dashboard. When a little check engine light kicks in and say, oh, you need to add water before the engine blows up because you're underwater. So the way that the Cork Cyber Intelligence platform does, we actually do a little check engine light. If somebody MFA got turned off, check engine light comes on. So the MSP knows to go, oh, wait, my client just turned off the MFA. Let me go turn it back on. Thus preventing an attack from happening. So it's really thinking about that analogy to kind of work well together. It's cyber warranty and cyber insurance.
I like it. So let's dive into the inspiration. What happened a couple of years ago that you had a light kicked in, an engine check or mind check, and like, let's do that.
Well, the check engine light comes on. So a little background about myself. Prior to this venture, I actually been in multiple industries in leading what they call business or digital transformation. I'm always the guy who walk in and go, why won't you do it this way? So I've been to enterprise software, video game industry, toys industry, restaurant, and prior to Cork, I was in the MSP space with a company called Datto. So Datto actually primarily does backup, a lot of great tools that MSP relied on. Since the acquisition of Datto, post-acquisition, post-exit, you got a little bored, right? Looking at it. So the two guys actually founded the concept together. It was that a guy named Austin McCord, which was a founder of Datto, and then John McNeil, which was the ex-president CEO of Tesla. The two guys came together and said, there got to be a better way to solve this difficult problem in a couple of things. One is every MSP, every single cyber insurance policy has this long form that you have to fill out. And this long form is like mysterious 90 or 100 plus question. Meanwhile, what that form that you fill out once a year underwrites the risk of a dynamic environment. The cyberspace digital is changing every single second. With the emerging of AI, right? Gen AI is now being a big tool for the bad actor. Attack is getting more successful over time. So I can't imagine using a static form, an analog methodology to underwrite a dynamic risk environment. So we say there got to be a better way to underwrite that risk. In addition, there's got to be a way to let the MSP make some additional money, selling the warranty coverage. In talking a lot of the MSP, when we did this, when we started this idea, I said, what if in a world that we can create a simple push of the button and the MSP can underwrite all of the client based on the security investment they have already made? No net new product. Boom, there it is. And that underwriting will give them ability to resell a warranty without being a broker and be able to warrant their service. Second, what if we can actually prevent the attack from even happening? So that's really how we created the Cork product, having the two component, the intelligent platform that really look at active loss prevention to make sure that we catch the attack before it happens, right? As you probably know, a ransom attack, there are 10 different steps ahead of it before it happens. We want to catch it on step 1 and step 2 before we even get to step 10 when the attack occurs. And then if it ever gets to step 10, the warranty kicks in. The warranty kicks in, it gives the end client financial coverage and also make sure that MSP can help their client become the superhero, get the business right back up and running. So that's how it came about. So after the exit, spent a good year incubating the concept, spending a lot of time talking to many MSP, brought in some of the best players I've ever worked with in the past. So this is not your traditional startup. We got quite a bit of seasoned MSP folks in the market that help us to build this product.
I'm wondering, you had an idea, you had a team. Now, you didn't went to raise money. You were spending a year to figure out what you want to do. So a couple of questions here. One, did you went to the MSPs you already knew or to the new MSPs to validate the idea and how hard it was?
Yeah, it's interesting. When we started, the concept was incubated under John's DVX venture company, where it does an incubation of a new concept. And by the time that I entered, about 6 months into the concept being phased, a lot of conversation already started. But the one thing that we did exactly was most important, we gone out to find 24 MSP that we already knew. We asked a really simple question. We didn't ask them going, wouldn't it be great if you can stop answering these questions here? Wouldn't it be great if you can sell, make more money? That's what everybody's, yeah, of course. The question we ask is, what's keeping you up at night? And what are some of the biggest challenges in the cyberspace? The common things we came back, 80% of came back. One is, what's keeping me up at night is getting attacked. When the attack happens, my client will come back with the cyber insurance company, and then I become in some way the target because they will say, well, did you do something wrong? Did you not do something right? What happened there? Second is, they do believe that the world is now evolving to security-focused organization. But in order to give them a full 360 view, right, today, MSP provide the services, the people skill, they provide the technology stack. What they don't have is a financial coverage piece. Today, if you take a look at that, I would call the pre-attack, the prevention side is typically by one group of people. The recovery side is by typically traditional insurance company who has probably very little experience in the technology space. So what we have done is in Cork is how do we tie that bridge together? So that's really what we keep hearing was what's really keeping me at night is when an attack happened, I'm all there by myself. Why? Because the insurance company will come in and say, did you do your patch? Did you do this? Oh, by the way, I noticed that MFA was turned off on Joe's computer for 3 seconds because you detected that. Therefore, this thing is denied or partially denied. And they create a really tense moment for them. So our goal was really, how do we help them to get good sleep and bridge the gap with the insurance company so that this is actually about protecting the end client, not protect each other's asset.
You validated the idea. You got your thumbs up. I guess, I don't know, did you mind raising money or no?
No, in fact, this is a great part about the DVX Venture organization. They have already got funding. The seeding fund was already in place. By the time I entered, part of my job was to go, let's make sure the idea is sound. Let's make sure what our initial MVP to go to market will look like. And let's build a team. So when I actually start building a team, that's probably the most important piece. Having the money in place, right away, it can go hire some of the best talent out there in the market.
Let's talk about the team because best can be different things. Best could be very, very smart person, but completely egocentric. Best could be amazing team player, but not always the smartest or quickest or multitaskers. So do you guys spend time to figure out the company values and what does the best mean for Cork?
It's funny. One of the most important things for us was understand the value of what we do. Without the value, I can't hire, to bring in the right people in place. So I'll take you through the journey, how we built a team. One, I know in order for us to hit the market running, we got to have people who understand the MSP space. I have worked with people who's trusted relationship to get us there. Second, not only you have the trusted relationship, you need to have the right technical skill, meaning that when we talk about security, okay, it's one thing with selling warranty or insurance purely as a financial product. It's another when we say, guys, we're giving you a platform that plugs into your existing security stack, give you inside out monitoring. In what way? Well, are you technically capable that you can actually tell me the right data to look at? Because we have all more dashboard than anything else. And third, probably most important, is these people got to share the same value, what we need to be doing, right? I'll start with the value and come back to the people. Value for us is extremely important. We are what I call the partner first company, and I call them partner. Partner being the MSP. These are people who pay us. They're my customer. Now, I can call them customer, but customer in my mind is a one-way relationship. It's a transactional based relationship. A partner is a two-way relationship. When something goes wrong in the partner side, I'm there to help. So we don't call our customer, we call them our partner. When we use our customer, it's actually our partner customer. So the MSP end client, when we say customer, that's what we meant. So that's very much in the core DNA of our business. Number two, we have to build product that does not suck. I think a lot of company, especially startups, about we need to grow, we need to get all this revenue, we need to get things moving. Dude, I'm sorry, the products suck. It's never going to sell. If you make great product, guess what? Your partner is going to love you. They're going to be happy. They're going to be able to sell that product. And guess what? You treat them like a partner. You can help them to say, yes, we have a year-long contract. But if halfway through they lose their customer, I'm here as a partner. Let's work it out. So that's the mindset we have in place. Third core value is called GQSD, get quality shit done. People use get shit done. Sometimes you get shit done, you get it on the other end, you run too fast. But we use a Q, GQSD, get quality shit done. It has to be good quality. You got to be fast, got to be quick. It got to be a great product so that the partner can say, this is a great product. And then treat them like your partner, like your family, not a customer, which is a one-way relationship. If you look at that, it's unique because we're not talking about sell. We're talking about making great product and having great partner, and the revenue will come. It's a really different mindset than most companies would go. So that's a little bit about the value.
Was it hard to come up with?
No, I don't think it was at all, because in my mind, I'm later stage of my life and career now. I've been to all kind of industry. I came with the mindset that this is the right way of building a company that I would want to work for. And then our main investor, John McNeil and Austin McCord, Austin's his career was built on Datto. He founded Datto 12 years ago and sold them off. And his value is about making great product. Treat the MSP like a partner, not a customer. So I learned it over the years, but the same exact thing on John's like, we got to treat them like a partner. Make great product, people will buy it. Versus how do we sell more and what product should we make to sell more? It's a very different mindset, right? You think about what would you buy? We'll go make the product. Also, your product is changing all the time. But what if you make a great product that address what's keeping people up? Then people continue to buy them. So it's almost like you have to hedge your bet, right? To say it might be a longer sales cycle, but once you get picked up, it goes one at a time. So that's kind of how we think about it from that perspective. It wasn't hard because I came in with that mindset. And then with the two main investor, that's the same mindset. We very quickly lined that up. So that's how we got there.
Great, thank you. So let's go to people.
So people was important, right? There's two category of people that we need to build. One is people who are trusted in the MSP community, because that is the business that we're in. So we're very lucky to have Austin McCord as the backer behind us, right? Because people trust Datto, they hear the name Datto, great. But the thing is the day-to-day, who's in the operation every single day? So we started with who are the trusted name in the community that I know that I worked with that would say, we want you guys to be part of this community with us to create this solution for the community or this white space. So from that perspective, Rob Ray is, I think most people in the MSP space knows him. He's the big community guy. I worked with him in a prior life in Datto. He pretty much know every MSP existing in the market, and they all trust relationship. And one of the key things sitting down with Rob is, hey, Rob, here's our concept. Here's what we're thinking about. Would you like to be part of this journey? Because I'm trying to build the Avengers of this community. So we're not dealing with people who are just learning. Spend an afternoon with him. He understood where we go in the concept. And he said, hey, you know what? Let's do it. He's still a big proponent behind the MSP communities. He joined us as an advisory board member, helping us to shape the concept, get the first 24 MSP, get the new set of MSP, listening to what we have talked about and shape it along the way. And he's going to be the first guy to give me comments, say, hey, you got to change the way you do it in Cork product to make the MSP. He stand for the community at MSP. So we got that one player. The other person, the other side of the equation was we needed the right technical leader, right? Meaning that you might have the relationship, but do we have the right technical product? So in that case, a gentleman named Ryan Weeks, CISO, extremely well known in the MSP space and security expert. He actually founded a community called the Right of Boom. He's one of the co-founders. So all the MSP look to, what would Ryan say when it comes to security? Ryan's definitely took a little bit long because Ryan wanted to make sure that his name is supporting the right product. He's involved with the design. In fact, he was really much sitting down to say, how do we connect very quickly into the MSP security environment in the least intrusive way, right? Without compromising their security, but then be able very quickly to be able to continue to monitor from an inside out perspective to look for those early indicator of a potential ransom attack, potential BEC, potential phishing attack, all the things that you typically see. So we spend months and we still ongoing basis. How do you map them? What are the 10 steps to get there? What are the leading indicator? And how do you map those action into a CIS control so the MSP can go, oh, I got to work on this. I got to act on this. So that's a still ongoing process, but this is kind of like Ryan's baby because now we're really creating a product that helps secure the environment. And you probably hear some of other things we've done with partners and podcasts. And Ryan's word is prevention is better than getting popped. It's a very different approach. So now we got the right people to put together the concept to really bring it to life. So that's how we came together with overall getting our value set, but getting the right people that were trusted by the community, but more importantly, technically trusted. And that's how we play.
Great. Thank you for the overview of the people. I think it's very interesting and very methodical how you guys approach to finding the leaders. And it's led me to an interesting question. Building a company requires many different tasks. You need to build the product. You need to build the relationship. You have to sell stuff as well. You need to find the people. You need to interview people. I was talking to someone that I think he was interviewing like 100 people and his average interview was like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So my question is like, how do you deal with all the tasks? Like, how do you know what to even focus on?
Yeah, I think I was pretty lucky. This is interesting, right? Because before coming back to a startup phase, my career had moved from a startup to enterprise company where I actually, at one point in my career, on the peak of my career, I had 2,000 employees that reported to me for a global restaurant group. And one thing that I've learned in that time is the discipline of my own schedule, being able to say, how do I manage my day? How do I manage my work, right? And I'll get into my kind of theory of life, right? Number one, there's 24 hours in a day, okay? 7 days a week. Nobody can change that. That's a fixed parameter, right? One thing I do know is everybody needs to sleep. You got to sleep. You got to eat, right? You got to work out, okay? So let's just start with the basic of the health. You block out, let's say 7 hours of sleep. Now, I only sleep 5 hours a night, but that's 7 hours you can prepare plus or minus, right? You got to eat 3 meals. So that's 3 hours gone. So now you got, in my case, 10 hours out of the block. And then you got to work out. You got to definitely work out. You probably want to wash yourself afterwards so people don't smell, right? So now you have 2 hours. Now you got 12 hours. So literally half of your 24 hours is gone, okay? Now I have 12 hours left of each day. The next set of blocking is, okay, now I got my health taken care of. I got to have family time. I'm sorry. Like, I know people talk about work-life balance. You and I know this with kids, right? Guess what? Block out 2 hours a day for family time. Lo and behold, I have 10 hours left to do 24 hours worth of work each day. So within that, I get in a systematic way of thinking about, okay, of that 10 hours left, guess what? I need time to work too, right? So I'm going to block out 2 hours end of day for me to work, and then 1 hour in the morning to prepare. Mathematically, guess what? Now it's 10 minus 3, I'm down to 7. That 7 hours is now systematically built out. I don't take meeting longer than an hour. It's 30 minutes only. I think people need to come with discipline and model. And then I carve out my week of thinking about different area of discipline in my business. In a startup world, even in an enterprise world, the most important thing is sales, because it's one thing that every mentor will tell you: revenue solves all problem, at all. So my Monday and Friday is really anchored around sales. How are we going to do this week? What did we do wrong this week? What can we improve on? What do we do next week? So Monday and Friday is my sales focus day. My Tuesday is my marketing focus, this top of funnel, getting people excited about it. What partnership did we do? How do we get things moving forward? Wednesday, the most important part, finance and operation. Is your money coming in? Is revenue coming in? What do we need to do? What are the changes we need to make? Thursday is product, everything about product. So that's how my week works. And everyone knows my schedule. It works that way. It works well for me. It's interesting. I've used it in my prior life. Larger organization also work. So I apply it here. It also work. The difference is large organization, I have hundreds of people to do everything. Now I get to do everything myself, plus the small team that I got. But it's exciting.
So let's dive into this part because I'm very excited to hear you answer this. As a founder, you have to do founder lead sales. So you have to sell. As a person that's selling and selling his baby, you know how to do it. You have your own way to do it. Now comes a time when you're growing and you're hiring people because you need to do other stuff. And now you need to trust someone to sell your baby. How this process goes? How do you let go?
It's hard, man. Okay, it's like, we're talking about, right? You got young kids, I got young kids, but then when they go out of the house, you're like, you want to tell them this how, like my first daughter, when she left the house to go to college, you want to tell her how she lives. And she's like, Dad, I got this. I think part of that process is, like I would say, the first 20 sales that we went through, it was different. In fact, I think the first 50 sales, they were vastly different. But after the first 20, you started to get a pattern of what that looks like, right? What I found worked for myself as I bring people on, one thing that I've learned over the years is, all right, here's what the product is. Here's what we have. Here's some of the basic pitch deck, 3 slides, put them on the NDA. Okay, now study that, do your research. That's all you're going to get. Come back and sell it to me. How would you sell it based on the information you have? I can tell you 8 out of 10 times, you're going to probably figure out pretty quickly if that person's going to fit and adapt. In that conversation, I'll throw a spin in it. Well, what if we do this? And I'll play probably the worst partner I've dealt with in the past, trying to sell them the idea and concept and see how they react. That's usually figure out how they fit. I think that's one dimension. Second dimension, what I've learned in the last year is, and this is something new for me, is there's different type of salespeople. Salespeople that's successful, that grew a company from 1 to 10 million, 10 to 100 million, 100 million plus, are different beasts than the one who work from 0 to 1. 0 to 1 salespeople are all around. They are not there just waiting for the call to demo the book. They're finding way to, I'm going to go on Facebook, doing myself, do things differently. They're driving all different elements. So it is definitely an element we come into place, but letting the baby go it's almost like a training wheel. But I think what I found successful is really understanding how they think. Can they pivot on a dime? And those folks tend to be more successful than anyone else out there.
I'm wondering right now, because you mentioned how you deal, like very, very systematic. You have this, you have that, you have everything. Like you pretty much probably revision what's going to happen. But unfortunately, life is not always predictable. And sometimes you have a wrench, sometimes stuff happens. So what do you do when you have a really bad day, very bad meeting? Like these are the mechanisms for you that you know that it works, that you can come back and become you again.
I think it's interesting. This is exactly something that I've learned in the first probably 3 months here, right? As we launched the product to market. My systematic way works really well back in the corporate day where I have thousands of people because your day is set. The business is selling. We're selling $4 billion worth of fried chicken. Life is good. It ain't gonna change much. The difference is in the startup, things goes wrong every single day. So what I actually alter in my model now, in my planning, is mostly first half of the day, the remaining 7 hours. First half is schedule meeting on those topics that we talk about. The back half, guess what? It becomes hot pot, testing what are the fire drill that we need to address today to get things changes. What are the changes we need to make? Still trying to stay within the lane of the topic, but full transparency, it hasn't been as much as I want it to be structured because it's easy to walk in a mindset preparing to be a sales day. But the reality is other fire drill comes in. So I actually start building in the second half of my day of those allocated hours to be a fire drill or fire drill for any topic. Now, sometimes it overrides into my work hours. So every day I need to bleed into family time. Okay, great. How do I balance that by working Saturday and Sunday to make it work? But that's the reality of work from that standpoint.
If you can go back to the beginning of the journey right now with Cork, would you do anything differently?
I think I would. A couple of things I would do things differently, right? I think early days, we actually brought in resource that focus on top of funnel from a marketing perspective. In fact, I think it was almost too early before we actually have dialed in the product market fit once we were in the market. That's probably one of the things I would have done differently because I think until you get product market fit, marketing is almost too early. You need it. Once you have a fit, you've seen sell through of the product. Now you go, okay, what's been working to help sell the product? Now that should be the core message and make the market. I think that's one of the key things. What else would I do differently? I think that's it. I mean, that we were pretty lucky that we're iterating fast, very quickly along the way. I mean, I think some of the things it goes everywhere from the product evolution itself to resource and talent to even where priorities are. I think probably one of the main things that really I recall was we probably took our eyes off the ball by hiring marketing too early in the cycle.
I call this part the dark side. If you can share some horror stories, stuff that didn't work, without, of course, naming names, can you share some internally hiring, bad customers meeting?
Oh, geez, man, we can go on for hours with that, man. So let's start with the product side of the equation. I think the product side of the equation, to your point, right? You got a room of people who are really smart, who knows the problem. We knew the problem. We talked to a lot of folks. We are convinced. We're absolutely convinced this is the way that you should price the product. We went to market with good, better, best price point, right? Just every single product, every SaaS product does it. Good, better, best. Small, medium, large. Pick one. Dude, let me tell you, it was not as we planned. The first 2 months, we were just pounding it. We're trying to go, okay, no, is you gonna work? And then at one moment I go, guys, something, as much as we love this baby, I think it's because number one is a brand new product to the MSP market. Number two is the MSP market is used to selling technology, not financial coverage or warranty. Third is they're getting vendor fatigue. There's so many new vendor coming in. We got to make it so simple to sell. So at that aha moment, we say, guys, simplify it. Make it either small or large. That's it. Two choices. And make the price extremely attractive and simple. And in fact, give them the tools that they need to sell. We essentially created marketing tools for the MSP with the logo on it so they can go sell. The moment we pivot on that, it took 1 week. And that's, by the way, that's a great thing about a startup. In a corporate world, they go to the board committee, pricing committee, packaging committee. It takes 6 months to get something changed. This, overnight, I said, guys, we're going to do this. We spent a week, re-rev it. Following week, we flipped the price point, changed it to package, small and large. Guess what happened? One click, boom. And then later, we start hearing, early this year, we start hearing feedback from MSP, hey, we would love to just get access to your platform. Could you get that for us? From the prior lesson, we right away go back to the drawing board and say, yeah, we can break that off. Within a week, we launch a platform access only. They can still sell the warranty, but they can just buy the platform access to monitor the environment. Boom, right there and then. In that lesson, what we learned was very quickly was if you don't pivot and listen to what your customer is saying, you'd stay too strong to your own concept the early days. The first 2 months was rough because we weren't getting the velocity that we wanted. But the moment that we heard what people were saying, we give them what they need, the velocity start picking up. And along the way, you hear new feedback, you provide that new product for them, and guess what? The velocity keeps going. It keeps speeding up every time that we take feedback. And you just got to move fast, move quick, and not look back and say, we should have, could have, would have. Is, all right, we heard you. Does it make sense? Yes, let's go test it. It works, go. If it doesn't, sunset it and move on.
Great. I love this. Thank you very much. I learned so much today. This was very, very interesting. Thank you for sharing your stories. I think people are going to listen to this, listen and watch this episode. We like it as well. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.